That's crazy. No, so like I want to know though, if you were with a guy who cheated, like would you stay with them? Are you the type of girl that immediately, as soon as a guy does something like that, like you're done? Or if he was a certain value, would you like kind of deal with it? Like,
Okay, so me when I was younger, I forgave for cheating, but with doing that, also learned that once you forgive them, it's kind of giving them the key to do it again. Like they already know, okay, I
Mhm.
can do this, say this, and I'll get away with it.
you're
So,
enabling.
yes, you're enabling. So, me now, personally, cheating is something that I just do not tolerate. Like, if you cheat, you go do that. Like, go find who you are because clearly you don't know what you want. So, go find who you are and what you want. But I do feel you on the sense of if a guy has a certain stature, but I'm not like a woman who's not going to get things for myself. So that's not going to keep me with somebody.
It's not gonna
Just
sway you.
it's not going to sway me just because somebody has money or they're doing this for me to
Hmm.
stay with a cheater. Like no, I'm too deep for that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Some people I think cannot handle cheating at all. I read about it all the time online. Something I argue with a lot of red pill guys about sometimes is the fact that I go on the subreddit for red pill women, women that are super traditional conservative women that love to
Yeah.
do everything for their man. And even they cry and complain about the cheating and stuff like that. The women on there will even tell the men, like, y'all need or tell the other women, like, you need to leave the guy if he's doing that to you. And they're traditional, really conservative women that really should, or they're the type of women that would want a man even if he does something like that, and even they don't want it.
Yeah.
So I've been convinced recently that I don't think any woman wants that stuff.
No, because I mean, if you think about it, like a lot of things in life is all mental. So it's like if you're not feeding my mental in the way I need it to be, then anything else you do doesn't matter because it's like literally almost everything with life is mental.
All right, well, what do you think?
Would I stay?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'd leave immediately because I've stayed before.
Stay a little closer if you can.
I've stayed before in the past.
Hmm.
But I feel like now because of that past relationship that I've had and I've stayed and like continuously like he would cheat, I feel like now I just like I said, I feel like all men cheat. So I feel like I self-sabotage in relationships. Like I don't even want to pursue a relationship with a guy right now. Like I think I'm just doing my own thing. And like Kaylin said, I'm at the point where, I can do for myself what a man can do for me too. So it's like
You need to be careful and make sure that one guy doesn't make you a misandrist for the rest of your life, and you just hate men forever because
Facts.
that one thing happened.
honestly, I feel like right now I'm at that point. I mean, I just
It's okay. There's a lot of guys who hate women because they bail on dates with them or do all types of stuff. So I think both sexes go through a period where you might hate the other for a little
yeah,
bit
We're
because of
not
something
all
they
the
do to
same.
you.
I'm
Well,
not
can I ask
saying
y'all really quickly, ladies? The gentlemen that went ahead and took those steps,
mhm.
were they gentlemen that were fully respected by you in muscles, money, and game simultaneously? Or were they lacking in certain areas where you lost respect over time and you just decided to go ahead and move on with your life and do your own thing?
Um, I feel like I mean, if you ask me, nobody just has it all together. Like
Very few.
very few, and
Very
even
few.
those few, like I just feel like there's no such thing as perfect or everybody having it all together. Like you're everything's gonna come with something. So I don't know. I just feel like it is a combination of both. Like it's like I did respect you at first,
Hmm.
and then once you showed me certain things, it started deducting points.
Mhm.
And then
They
I'm
weren't
like,
as ambitious as you might have thought.
I mean, I wouldn't even say it's just about the ambition. It's just it wasn't feeding me what I needed.
Mhm.
As far as
They
emotionally,
weren't good in
physically,
bed.
anything.
Huh?
That too, like that'll get you
Hey,
out of
it's the
here.
meat, man. Money, energy, attention, time. They don't need just the dick. They sometimes
Right,
need
no.
the energy,
Yeah.
attention, and time too. You
Because
know.
there are like the rose toy now, and that does that does it for me. So
And I believe that being present is very necessary in all situations as well.
Yeah.
Again, this is a constant effort that men should strive to. Like I think that a lot of men think that they've arrived somewhere when they've reached a certain point, but there's no arrival point for us as men.
Um, I feel like it can be, it really just depends on like each individual person, because everybody's gonna has their different requirements. So I just think it just depends on each person. Like everybody's situation is different.
Do you believe that because y'all are both 26, y'all have probably some of the best options available to you right now before you head into your epiphany stage, which is about 27 to 32, which you start prioritizing protection, parental aid, and provision more than, the hot guy at the foam cannon party that you would normally meet. And, it's just the right time, right place, right situation. And you guys will go ahead and decide to go ahead and have some fun together.
I mean, if you ask me, that's something that I've always looked for. Money or your status or any of that has never meant anything to me because I've met a lot of guys who have status that, if you ask me, are lame.
Would you call yourself, so are you
Mhm.
traditional? Would you call yourself like traditional? You want to settle down and have kids and all that?
I would call myself pretty traditional, but I guess I would call myself fluid.
What does that mean?
I
You
could
can be a
go.
little bit off the mic. You don't have to be on.
I could go. It just depends. Like if I'm vibing with somebody and they're more like free spirit, not traditional. Hey, I want to go do this. I want to do that. If I like you enough, I'm down to go do that too. But if I am with a guy and I like him and he's like, I want to settle down. I want to have a family. I'm cool with that too. Like it's just all about the vibes of what I'm feeling.
about
What the
you?
guy wants to.
Am I
Yeah, and
traditional?
what he
Yeah.
wants. Yeah.
No,
You
I don't
wouldn't-
want kids. And I just honestly believe I don't really think people are meant to be with one person for the rest of their life.
Yeah, I've heard that.
She's poly, guys. I'm just kidding.
I used to never agree with that, but as I get older, I'm kind of like,
No.
ah.
Mm-mm.
The experience.
I think it's based on how much you experience. There's
Yeah.
people that are married virgins and they're very happy together
Yeah.
40, 50 years later. But if you sit there and you go experience the alpha widow thing,
Yeah,
if you sit there and if you mess around with all these really awesome people, you're never going to meet somebody that
exactly.
meets the par of all those men. Same with guys. Like if you have a relationship with a girl that cooks and cleans and does all this stuff for you, and then you date nothing but these Tinder hoes after that aren't doing anything for you, you're never going to take a girl serious until she does that wifey stuff again or whatever that one girl did that you really liked. I truly think that we can both be alpha widowed in that sense. Like you're gonna have certain things that are your par, and you're not gonna want to go under your par.
I got a question for Caitlin, I believe is your name.
Kaylin, yeah.
Kaylin, yeah.
Yeah. So I noticed that you mentioned that you don't look at money per se. You don't look for money. However, you did say you look at things like parental provision.
Mm-hmm.
How do you have parental provision without money?
I mean, I'm not gonna say that isn't a factor, but I'm not gonna solely just talk to somebody or take them seriously just because they have money. Like there's a lot of other things that has to go into that because money is
You
not
could be a dork
something-
and have money, huh?
yeah,
exactly.
money is not something that I can't get on my own, or money doesn't secure certain things, so it doesn't matter. But I understand why you would ask that question, just because it's like that parental protection, it does come with having a certain
It's like
Amount of money coming in.
yeah, but
Mhm.
that's not gonna solely keep me there just because I'm like, oh well, he's making money.
it's
so
an ingredient, but it's not the key recipe.
Exactly.
And this is why I mentioned earlier that there's no arrival point for men. There's a constant growing
I agree with
in many areas of your life.
And that's with
especially
anybody.
if you plan. But again, men lead, women follow in many aspects of life. So you have to realize that as men, if we truly want to be the leader of our households, especially as an example to our children in the future, we can't just settle. We can't just stop.
Take
at
your
any
foot off the
point.
gas.
You
I
can't-
agree.
You can't stop and just think that, oh, I got the money. I got a little bit of muscles. I got some game, but it's always you're growing in those areas till the day that you die as a man.
Fact.
And
I think the
that's
key
what
thing
matters.
is like staying genuine, because I feel like a lot of people let a lot of things define them instead of staying true to who they are and their purpose and what we were all put here to do. And yeah, that's just what it is. Like people get lost in the money and get lost in the clout and get lost in all these other things,
Comfort.
and they lose the true, root to everything, the reason why we're here.
Right.
So the main thing is just staying genuine. Like,
It's easy for a man to get comfortable. All you got to do is give him some cheap entertainment, some cheap
yeah, look at the strip clubs.
JJ, and it's just it is what it is. The growth it never ends for us
Yeah.
as men, and if you truly take that into consideration and you actually exemplify that, not just talk about it, not just just have discussions about it, but you actually are practicing that on a daily basis. I truly believe that even in situations where there may be some infidelity, women will look at you and they'll be like, you know what? This guy doesn't stop. He's ambitious. He is looking to go ahead and make sure that I'm taken care of, our children are taken care of. And even if there are some moments where he has the opportunity to go ahead and sleep with another woman, I believe that once all the drama fades, because there's going to be drama no matter what,
Mhm.
once the drama fades, a lot of women they sit back and they think, well, do I have any other better options at this very
Exactly,
moment?
exactly.
That's sad.
Mhm.
Women